What's something that changed, disappeared because of COVID that still hasn't returned? I don't know what happened. I was literally going to a music festival once every 2 to 3 months, multiple music shows, hanging out with friends and going out camping, partying, etc. Now, me and my wife just kind of sit at home and maybe go out to a park or do some hiking, and every once in a while go out to a board game night. We went to a couple music shows and I just felt like, what am I doing here? I'd rather be on the couch. But then when I am home, I feel guilty, like I should be out, enjoying life, but have no motivation or I guess pull to do anything. Frankly, it's been miserable. There was a wonderful hobby shop in the town I live in. Sold RC vehicles, high-quality model kits, supplies, model train stuff, hosted MTG tournaments, Warhammer, etc. Really nice place. It was run by the nicest guy and some of his friends. It's gone now. Makes me really sad. I bought all my hobby stuff from him. Now I have to either drive 2 hours if I want to buy from a locally owned store, or I need to buy from online. That's the worst. Those places are such bright spots, but they usually are only moderately successful in the best of times. There was one around the corner from where I grew up that I visited a lot, but the owner wound up having to close because the landlord decided to be a dick about demanding rent early or something like that. It's been a while, so I can't remember. There is a tiny retro hobby shop near me that's well known for being attached to an auto repair shop. Both are run by the same person. He has a passion for the hobby shop, but makes money through auto repair. He hopes one day he'll be able to convert the whole place to a hobby shop, but he doubts he'll see that day. There's a place near me that I recently discovered that specializes in D&D and LARP stuff and went for a fantasy tavern kind of vibe. Honestly, it's incredible. Only thing that could make it better in my mind is if they actually made it into a tavern where you can order food and drinks while you play. They have several large tables with built-in screens to create your D&D character on if you need to, as well as regular events. Owning a place like that is now a goal of mine in the imaginary future where I'm rich. 24-hour stores and restaurants. There are probably way less than half as there used to be. People's patience. Yes, I work in a pharmacy and people hate to say it, but normally old people will come in and ask for a refill on a medication they've been on for years. We'll say it'll be a wait and they'll damn near flip the counter over. But I'm out. It doesn't take that long to put pills in a bottle. Then I say that's why we ask for a 48-hour notice prior to you running out. There's people waiting for urgent medication ahead of you. We'll fill yours when we get to it. I'm going to report you. I can die without my medicines. Welp, another 40 minutes prop won't kill you. You'll receive a text message when it's ready. I take scheduled stimulants for my ADHD, so getting refills is a nightmare. Can't refill a day early. Can't get a couple days worth to cover the gap if I'm out of refills and haven't called my doctor yet. All exacerbated by the fact that these are the exact type of situations that I struggle with because of the ADHD, and I have only lost my patience with a pharmacy worker once when they fucked up my dosage twice in a row despite me very clearly confirming with them the exact dosage I needed refilled. Which is to say, I've only expressed mild irritation when the pharmacist literally did not do their job properly repeatedly. I have witnessed the old people you're referring to berate pharmacy staff and pharmacists when I'm picking up my meds, and as a former retail worker, it makes me livid. I have so much respect for how calm all of you are in the face of the absolute insanity you have to deal with. I've never once seen any pharmacy staff raise their voice or take the bait when a customer is losing their shit. Exactly. I also have ADHD, so I get how the laws suck. People literally act crazy when they get told anything but, I'll stop everything we're doing right now because you want your RX right now. I've learned the trick though. When people say some crazy uncalled for shit, I'll stare at them. Dead ass eye contact to make them think about what they said, and it's never been more than 3 seconds before they fix their tone and backtrack. My business of 17 years. I'm still working on getting over it. I had no idea that I would grieve it. I think of people who ripped off the COVID relief funds, and when I hear of people who went through real problems makes me rage. My wife's business was on life support for almost a year. Those funds plus the generosity of her office landlord who gave her a temporary discount on rent were the only things that kept it afloat. We are experiencing higher than normal wait times. Yeah, right. You just didn't rehire the same amount of people you laid off. Now it doesn't matter when you call, you're looking at a multi-hour wait. Businesses have also been saying that same message for the last 3 years, it's a normal wait time now. Here they laid off air traffic controllers, because no one was flying. Now they can't hire people back fast enough, causing major issues for airlines and travelers. Until now they've just overloaded the remaining controllers, but now the union have said enough, leaving Copenhagen airport with cancellations and major delays. But that's what you get for short-term thinking. People's mental health. Absolutely. Since the start of COVID, I've noticed a huge uptick in people getting angry at the smallest things. Not just online but also in real life. At one point, I remember literally making every single person angry. Everyone I met, even saying, "Thanks," to someone got a snippy response. I had never seen that before COVID. It made me go like, is everyone, like, okay? I think we're seeing that people are still very angry about things right now, even very trivial things. Edit. I don't think we can blame it on US politics. I'm not in the US, but the same thing is happening here. The weird thing of this too is that because things have moved even more online, you're getting this IRL hostility coupled with a very disorienting, fake, and perfect online Instagram presence. It's very no-seating. It's honestly hard to tell what's real. My theory comes down to grief. I think we as a Western society do not hold room for grief. There has been so much to grieve, from jobs to lifestyles to actual lives. But no time allowed, and no good leaders. Just people trying to pretend that things are normal. Well, they're fucking not. There's an underlying hopelessness that I feel almost everyone shares right now. The way people were acting during the height of it seems like it's irreversible psychological social damage that never had us coming together as a society. Even people of faith seem to be concerned. COVID completely shattered my worldview and my faith in my country and humans in general. Working in healthcare throughout it didn't help. I had a mental breakdown in 2021, and COVID wasn't the only factor in that, but it was a big component. I am doing better, but I am still working through the trauma of that time, and I don't think my faith in other people will ever recover. I am certainly a different person now than I was in 2019. Pretty much this. The general consensus at the hospital I worked at is that our collective faith in humanity kind of crumbled. I can pinpoint the day my faith broke too. I worked in transport, and part of the job was transporting that rather high number of deceased people to the morgue. I had a knife pulled on me by a family member screaming about us intentionally killing him, when less than an hour before I was still performing CPR in full view of said family member. Honestly, as someone who works with lots and lots of paperwork, I'm okay with this. At least with a PDF and e-sign I have a secure backup copy for everything. Paper copies get damaged over time, even if you are especially careful. Also, who wants all that paper sitting around when you could just save them to a folder in your computer? I get your grip about not having interactions with people, but that can easily be solved by just, chatting someone up at the water cooler. My social life. No one wants to do anything anymore. Apparently during COVID everyone got used to never leaving the house. Plus I am in my 30s, so over that year or so a few friends moved away, had a kid, etc. I haven't lost those friendships, but I don't get to do anything socially anymore. I feel like I lost my chance to be happy. ETA. My heart. Woke up to lots of upvotes and comments, virtually all of them from a place of empathy. I have so much gratitude for all of you. To all the lovely people sharing words of encouragement. It means more than you know to hear these things. I took a few screenshots so I can look back when I need to remember these things. Thank you, truly. To the people in the same boat as me, I'm sorry you're going through this too. It's so hard and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But look at how many of us there are out there. This gives me hope for us. We have to keep trying, and taking care of ourselves in the meantime. Affordability. Rent is ridiculous. Groceries are ridiculous. Gas is ridiculous. My student loan payment will be 200% higher than what it was pre-pandemic. Eating out is expensive, plus soon many restaurants are adding on surcharges that you pay in addition to the tip. Concert tickets are ridiculous. Capitalism is grinding us all into the ground. My town's student life. I live in a fairly small town where a huge part of the nightlife and general social stuff was tied to our local university, where I also studied and currently work, and its student body. When COVID hit in full force, we switched to mostly online courses. As a result, a lot of students never bothered even moving here, obviously convenient. At the same time, they never started making the friendships and connections that are an integral part of the university experience. Their information networks are fractured. They barely even have study groups. Previous generations had no issues switching their study groups to online or even creating new ones, but these students barely know each other and barely even seem interested. Both the professors and TAs as well as the old guard student government have done what we could to try and encourage connections among students, but damn, it's taking a lot of time for this stuff to come back, and I know a couple local business owners that are dancing on the edge of bankruptcy because of this whole thing. A lot of my joy for life. I'm not joyless, but a large part of my life was being part of a vibrant, very diverse and inclusive music scene in my small town. COVID shut that down, and since things have come back, the venues have changed hands and the music scene has closed off greatly. Far less inclusive, very cliquish. It's very saddening. The scene is unrecognizable now. Physical menus at restaurants. I'm sorry. Scanning a QR code and then using my phone's display to browse a menu is absolutely the worst user experience for doing that. The screen is just too damn small to quickly peruse a large selection of items across numerous categories. Places accepting cash. In the last few months I've been to concert venues, sports stadiums, and certain restaurants for the first time since lockdown, and I'm surprised at how many of them are card only. I get that we were trending this way before COVID, but I think it's a shitty way of doing business.